Well, everyone, here we are. We are now in the final days of 2020 before we head into 2021, which, by the way, is going to be a big year for Lucasfilm because that's the year where a lot of their projects are going to begin production. We're talking about the Kenobi series. We're talking about other TV shows out there like the Ahsoka Tano show and more. That's really going to come full circle, a lot of them in 2022. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, Disney's goal is to really bring Star Wars back to its roots. They really want to stick with that classical tone, back to when George Lucas was in full control of the original trilogy for the most part, and the prequel trilogy movies. They want to give the fans exactly how Star Wars used to feel, and that's exactly what they accomplished in the Mandalorian series. There's a main reason as to why. Jon Favreau, number one, is passionate. Number two, he actually is indeed a real Star Wars fan. And when you mix those two together, when you have a passionate creator, and that one is also a fan, deep down, that's when you get great results out of these new Star Wars projects. Now, looking forward, we do know that Jon Favreau is very much hard at work on this new universe, everything ranging from Rangers of the New Republic to Mando Season 3 and 4 that are being worked on back to back, though 4 is in a more earlier stage of development. We also got the Book of Boba Fett that's actually moving along very, very well. That's going to be releasing December 21st of next year, so looking forward to that. We've got a lot more by Jon Favreau as well, with Dave Filoni as his partner. Now, looking at everything with Disney and Lucasfilm, obviously a lot of fans have been very unhappy with Kathleen Kennedy over the years. So given that The Mandalorian Season 2 is now finished, Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars projects for their universe moving ahead. It's described, however, that Disney CEO Bob Chapek has a big plan in place to fire Kathleen Kennedy before her contract ends, and that this plan involves a strategy of having George Lucas to take over Lucasfilm temporarily at some point in time during 2021 to rework the roadmap of Star Wars and to regulate the franchise with the lore, TV shows, and films. Now, on top of that, it's described that George Lucas is planned to serve as the temporary president of Lucasfilm in Q3 of 2021 before they move on to their permanent solution, to which Bob Chapek has all eyes on 3 different candidates. That includes Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and one unnamed creator that is in the pipeline if Dave and Jon are not able to provide the dedication to do such a thing for Lucasfilm due to their busy schedule. Chapek has been very unhappy with Kathleen Kennedy's leadership over the years and wants to make great change within the Star Wars franchise for the entire fandom for the years to come. Now, it's not just that, but Bob Chapek, though he can't break contract of what Kennedy is working on right now, he is very unhappy with what's happening with The Acolyte. The Acolyte, by the way, is going to be the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV show. There were some regulations put into place on that show a couple of months ago, as we discussed, by George Lucas, so it's not as terrible as it would have been without those regulations, but to me it still seems like it's going to be a Batwoman scenario, where it's too pretty much invested in the agendas, and it's going to outright fail. I can just feel it. You know, looking at what The Acolyte is on paper sounds pretty interesting, of how it's like a mystery thriller, and the logo suggesting very much dark side oriented themes. But when you figure out who's associated, such as Leslie Headland, and, you know, we've also got Kathleen Kennedy, we've also got Rain, I believe, as a co-writer. She's working with Leslie Headland as well. So that really does open up one's eyes that there's a good or great chance that it's really not going to perform as well as, let's say, The Mandalorian or the Kenobi show. To me, I think that The Acolyte could very well be the lower end of the Star Wars shows. And everything else, I think, is going to succeed very well because it's in line with the passionate creators. Again, like I say, Leslie Headland herself even said that she doesn't even have a favorite Star Wars film. She didn't really grow up with Star Wars. She's not really invested in the franchise. This is just a project that she's working on. And I think that's when we're going to see things that just don't really match up. This is another person that does not understand Star Wars, in my opinion at least. You know, obviously I think that if you grow up with the franchise and you love the films and you watch them either casually or hardcore as a fan, then, you know, you really know Star Wars in either case. But if you don't watch it at all, period, and you can't even have a favorite film, and you don't really know much about the lore at all, you know, obviously I think that Leslie Headland doesn't really know Star Wars at the core, in my opinion. So, like I've said before, I think that Kathleen Kennedy made a poor choice choosing Leslie Headland for The Acolyte. You know, it was very nice to see that everything else is going to be pretty much well received. We can already tell. Kenobi, Ahsoka, Lando, sounds amazing. Rangers, we've got other TV shows out there as well, such as Mando Season 3 and 4, Book of Boba Fett. I mean, the list goes on, and more announcements are coming our way in 2021. So like I've said before in the past, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.